His town may be small in the scope of the Metroplex, just 2.5 square miles, but Chief J.T. Monishagan says that rarely gives him a dull day. Crime, after all, doesn't follow boundaries, and the issues of their very big brother, Fort Worth, do end up here in Lake Worth.
Everything that Fort Worth deals with, we're dealing with here.
But when the same big city issue hit his department twice in just a matter of days, this small town chief decided to take a big stand.
Today's briefing is going to take on a new tone.
The chief's normally positive and normally just for his community Friday's social media video turned into a serious sit-down, trying to reach a wide audience on bail reform.
The outrage that we feel associated with these cases.
The chief says one, a suspect in a violent child trafficking case.
The 50-year-old man who was trafficking a 14-year-old girl and then kept her in a hotel room for 5 days where he drugged her and sexually assaulted her.
And the other, a DUI arrestee with a recent deadly past.
And that she was out on bond for manslaughter in a crash in Collin County where her mother was killed.
Monishagan says his officers did their duty, but then at their bond hearings on the sex trafficking,
he was assessed what we believed was a very low bond. His release is imminent.
And on the DUI with priors,
the arraigning magistrate set a bond of $650.
Monishagan says it's because these bonds are often just set from a predetermined formula with not enough or no attention to risk assessment or to criminal history.
Bail reform has come up in the last 3 legislative sessions.
Attorney Ken Good from the Professional Bondsmen of Texas says this session reform almost did happen, but it had an impossible act to follow on the agenda.
The election integrity bill was right in front of it, and they delayed until 11, and they couldn't delay any longer, and it was going to pass, and so they walked.
Good says that bill would have, among other things, added criminal history considerations to the process.
It allows more preventative detention, and it also changes some of the rules for studying bail.
But as always, the problems come in the politics, and opponents of the bill say details inside make them problematic. The ACLU of Texas said the bill would enrich the predatory bail industry, punish the poor, and trample on Texans' rights and freedoms. Their concern, a long-standing one on the topic.
Keeping someone in jail only because they can't afford to get out that's not what we're about.
And Chief Monishagan says he wants to avoid that at all costs, too. And that's why he hopes the political divisions that are likely to fill this special session will be dropped from this one, at least.
Enough is enough.
Because as he told his social media followers in that widely viewed video, the dangers of the current system, well, he can't keep quiet about those any longer.
As a general rule, the police do not concern themselves with the bond. We're going to submit the best case we can, and the judge is going to do what the judge is going to do. Until you start seeing the same people destroying lives over and over and over again.
He says small town or big, there has to be a better way. He just hopes the state can find it before it's too late.